Kokushibo and Alexander Anderson. They are two anime swordsmen who once hunted regenerating monsters, however ended up becoming monsters themselves in the quest for more power. This matchup isn't super thematic as other matchups out there on the internet, but I figured I would cover this matchup because it is actually really interesting when it comes to the debate. So if you enjoy this video, then make sure to like, subscribe, comment below who you think who wins this matchup, and check out my other Demon Slayer and Hellsing content, but none of the old ones. I beg of you, please, no. Make sure to subscribe to Pix as well. He's the one editing this video, so massive shout out to him. And yeah, let's get on with it. The strength and attack potency of these two are fairly relative, but more in Alexander Anderson's favour, with Kokushibo scaling to town level, while Anderson can scale to large town level to city level. This is due to Anderson scaling to Alucard, who has these feats. These feats include Alucard creating fog spanning across all of Devon, which requires power equal to 57.3 kilotons of TNT in order to replicate. Alucard's Blood River having the KE equal to 43.92 kilotons of TNT, and being able to make a massive blood tsunami in an instant out of all the people's blood all across London, which would have power equal to 14 megatons of TNT behind it. Kokushibo, on the other hand, should massively upscale from Gyuatro's self-destruction, which caused destruction on the level of 9.52 kilotons of TNT. Granted, Kokushibo should be way stronger than Gyutaro, and should even be able to one-shot him, but that is stronger to an unquantifiable degree. Since Anderson scales from being 4.16 to 6.03 times to 1,400 times greater than Kokushibo, there's no way you can objectively say that Kokushibo is over 4 times stronger than Gyatro, and that's even on the low ball, so Alexander Anderson would be stronger. The only way you can get Kokushibo higher than this is if you use the mistranslations of the upper moons being able to topple mountains or the Demon Slayer Mark multiplier. I have went over in several videos as to why this Demon Slayer Mark multiplier doesn't really make a whole lot of sense and likely isn't 100 times of an increase, but to save the ears of returning viewers of this channel, I will skip over that. But if you want to know more about my stance on this, I would suggest checking out my Tanjiro vs Jonathan video or my My Hero Academia vs Demon Slayer video. But with this, Alexander Anderson is comfortably stronger than Kokushibo and could likely one-shot him, especially if you do not use the high or mid end that we give him here. But the debate is pretty interesting as strength isn't all you need to win a fight. Going on to speed, Kokushibo should massively outclass Anderson in this by a fair amount. This is because Anderson at best scales to Alucard, who caught Rip Van Winkle's bullet in his mouth, requiring him to move 83,000 miles per hour. In stark contrast, Kokushibo should massively upscale from Muichiro, due to being able to blitz him while massively holding back. This is the same Muichiro who could slice 10,000 fish in an instant, requiring him to move 403,000 miles per hour. Kokushibo, when casual, is blitzing someone who is already 4.83 times faster than Anderson, meaning that while Anderson could one-shot, he's going to have a really hard time hitting Kokushibo, especially with Kokushibo being very able to dodge his attacks, much less with all his abilities backing him up. Kokushibo has a ton of abilities. He has acrobatics, supernatural willpower, enhanced senses, as Demon Slayer, or rather demons can, smell blood and, poison and things like that. Extrasensory perception, being able to sense the others and also be able to sense malicious intent. Different types of immortality and high regeneration, as even low-level demons are capable of regenerating from their heads being completely crushed. Self-sustenance, as demons don't need to sleep. Body control, being able to grow arms out of his own body. He's also able to grow out swords from his own body as well. Battle spirit, statistics amplification with total concentration breathing and the Demon Slayer mark. Weapons mastery, as he possesses around 500 years worth of swordsmanship experience. Weapons control and weapons creation. Transformation into his spider form. Perception amplification, information analysis, further enhanced sight, analytical prediction and precognition, all with transparent world. You see, Transparent World makes his perception of time slow down and allows the user to see his opponent's muscles, blood flow and movements, and allows him to perfectly predict their next moves, which makes it even easier for him to avoid Anderson's attacks. He also has Adaptation, being able to adapt to the Nichiren Blade's decapitation. He also has Absorption, being able to absorb and phase demons into his body. He also has Perception, Manipulations, Shockwave Generation, Blade Danmaku, Instinctive Reaction, Limited Information Analysis, being able to perceive details like blood type, sickness and genes, Limited Telepathy with Muzan, Limited Corruption, and Power Bestowal, being able to turn someone into a demon if Muzan permits it. He has resistances to disease manipulation, poison manipulation, biological manipulation, pain, regeneration nullification due to being superior to Akaza, who could regenerate from Tanjiro's Dance of the Fire God despite it being able to nullify regeneration. He also has resistance to fear manipulation and paralysis inducement, being able to withstand the aura of lower and upper moons, which causes fear and paralysis. Kokushibo also wields a giant flesh katana, created by his own blood and flesh, and due to his tough body and regeneration is really sharp and hard to cut through. He also has numerous techniques of moon breathing, with types 1 to 16, all being different variants of being able to slash, being able to protect Kokushibo, attack things, and also attack things at a distance for him as well. Anderson, by comparison, doesn't have as much in terms of abilities. He has low to mid regeneration, different types of immortality as well, force field creation, holy manipulation, sealing, teleportation, and is an expert bayonet wielder, and has limited power nullification, being able to negate the basic vampiric regeneration with holy bayonets. What did I say there? As a monster of God, he has even greater regeneration, being able to regenerate so long as the stake in his heart isn't pulled out. He also gains Holy Vine manipulation, Holy Fire manipulation. Alexander Anderson also wields a seemingly endless supply of blessed bayonets, which he can use to both duel people and throw them at his opponents. With Bible pages, it grants him abilities such as teleportation and sealing, and the Nail of Helena also grants him the ability to transform into the Monster of God. This matchup is so interesting to me because of how both characters have massive advantages over the other. Given the right scenario, Alexander Anderson could seal Kokushibo away in a room, and Kokushibo can't really do anything about that. His force field creation would also be so strong that Kokushibo can't exactly break through it. He can also very easily disorient Kokushibo by teleporting. This isn't even to mention the main win condition is that he just gets one hit on Kokushibo, and that would win the fight. Yeah, Kokushibo does have regeneration, but it doesn't really matter when you consider that Anderson could one-shot him before his regeneration can really come into play here. Kokushibo does have a fair amount of things going for him though. Firstly, and most obviously, he can speed blitz around Anderson and dodge attacks with massive easily. Why can't I speak? It's in the script. He can very easily dodge Anderson's attacks with close to no difficulty, much less his instinctive reaction in Transparent World also aiding him as well, meaning that Anderson is going to have a very hard time hitting him. Anderson also doesn't really have an answer for Kokushibo fusing into Anderson and making Anderson a part of himself. The only issue is that Kokushibo cannot overcome Anderson's regeneration. He can negate the regeneration of demons, but that's because it exposes their sun-based weakness, which Anderson doesn't have, which rules out the possibility of Anderson slowly chipping away at Anderson, as Kokushibo is not strong enough to do so and would not be able to have any lasting damage due to the regeneration, especially with the Monster of God. However, as Alistair becomes the Monster of God, he does have one glaring weakness. Once the nail from Helena is removed from his heart, his heart will be destroyed and Anderson will die. Given the hundreds of years of experience that Kokushibo has, you should very easily be able to make the argument they'd be able to go for this weakness, meaning that if it were equal stats in a battle, Kokushibo would have an edge there. But the thing is, Kokushibo is not strong enough to bypass Anderson's durability or regeneration. Realistically, the most likely outcome is that Anderson would eventually get one lucky hit in at some point, or the battle goes on for so long the sun comes up. The sun would kill Kokushibo, so, when being exposed to sunlight, so he would have to run away from when that happens, but not only would that not kill Anderson, but Anderson could then just seal Kokushibo inside whatever building he's using to hide himself in, giving him the win. And if Kokushibo isn't hiding in a building and just going under some shade, then it'd be even easier for Anderson to win under those conditions. For those reasons, I believe Alexander is more likely to win. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment below what you think about this matchup and the outcome as a whole. Shout out to Pix again, subscribe to him. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of fun editing this video, and I'll see you all next time.